You are doing a great job and enlightening many. However, let's keep dreaming about Nigeria. Is it difficult for you to have your platform where you don't believe in anything Nigeria? Like, it's not that difficult now. Like, respectfully, you can have your own and just say whatever you want to say there. Like, it's fine. That's ibiti is you don't agree with something, you believe in something else, then you go and talk about what you believe in. Like, that is where honor is. Like, just stop, please, and don't be patronizing. Don't worry about whether I'm doing a good job or not. That doesn't change the fact that what you're saying is not what I am about. I'm not saying you are wrong. I'm just saying I don't believe in what you're saying. I think it's okay. Thank you very much for understanding. Folks, there's some people who say things like, and they'll say things like, Nigeria, Yorùbáland is not going to work until you get out of Nigeria. And I look at them like, they think they are saying grand stuff. It's the most hopeless thing you can say about Yorùbáland. Just saying. And I think I should even, let me start with that thing. This idea that we cannot make progress until we get out of Nigeria, it's a very defeatist mindset. It's from a defeatist mindset. I've said it several times. It would be wonderful to have a separate nation. But guess what? Whatever you're going to do in that place, if you have not done anything right now, it means even when you get to that place, you will not do anything. I remember one group said, people have been interesting, said Nigeria is the one that's not allowing us to speak Yoruba. That's why we need our own Yoruba nation. When we have Yoruba nation, we'll be speaking our own Yoruba language. The person who is talking, his children don't speak Yoruba at all. When we have that thing, that's when we can now have Yoruba language as the official language, because we need to have a nation because we need Yoruba language. I'm like, you really think you are saying something? Has anybody shut anybody's mouth from speaking Yoruba? What are we doing at home with our children? Do we speak? And I know it can be tough because we live in the 21st century. We live in different parts of the world. It's easier to communicate in English. It's the global language and all of that. But I'm saying that if you cannot, it's difficult to, I know in my own experience, well, it's not like it's difficult to be honest, but you have to be intentional essentially. If you are not intentional about that, how do we then get people to get the nations to speak? Don't mix yourself up with this issue. No. I can't say anything I want to say. That's the problem. You guys don't mind when people are talking about what Igbos are doing in your land or what Fulanis are doing in your land. How about what you are doing in your land? I don't pander towards anybody. I don't pander. I respect everybody, but I don't pander. If people are messing up, I'll say it. All this thing of doomsday. Everybody to baje. I want to call Nigeria. Okay. Haba. Things are difficult, but people are building. And the crazy part is that those who are part of what is happening, they see the opportunities, they're able to plug in. Let me tell you something. It's not so cool right now in Nigeria, the way the structure is, but I want to tell you something. The structure that we had, even in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s, they were not very good though. We talk about Baba. We'll talk about Papa a lot and say, the things he did, the fantastic structures he built, first civilization in Africa, first stadium, first this in West Africa, tallest building, all those things. He didn't do it because we had a separate nation, no. And the system is not like it's so, even that system they were complaining, no. Papa wrote books about the system that they were operating in the 50s and the 60s, and he did not like that system. It was not his preferred system. And that's why when I hear Yoruba people also saying things like, let's go back to what we had before 1960, I'm like, have you even studied this thing? Because the people who were there were complaining about the system, talking about what they really, really wanted. Which is what we should be talking about. What they wanted, that particular thing, is what we should really, really, really be focusing on and see. Even if you don't get there, perhaps if you shoot for the sun, you probably land, it's the moon and stars they use. But this idea that we just want to go back to what Awo had. The question is, have you spoken to Awo? He's not with us now, but he wrote books. Have you read his thoughts? What did he say about that situation? What he said was to have ethno-linguistic states that gives you autonomy and the semblance of what I would call like a subcontinent, right? Nigeria becomes like a subcontinent with several nations within it, able to run on their own. And by the way, it is hard to get it, but it's easier to get that this disintegration that all of you are just pushing out there. Like, if you want to have your nation, it's a fantastic thing. But please, this is not the platform to say until it happens. I hate negativity. It irks me. Until we do this, we will never make progress. All the people that live in Nigeria, they are just dreaming. I'm like, how does that even make sense? Until you break away, you cannot do anything. Do you know that you are sounding exactly like Nnamdi Kanu? If you want to destroy your country, you don't have to carry guns. You have to say, all you have to do is constantly say negative words. This will not happen until we get out. After a while, people will believe that thing. And what would they do? They will look for every way to get out, which would involve anything, including what happened in Ibadan recently. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. Those people were told that they needed to do something to break out of Nigeria. And when they do it, that is when we now have something. So they carried guns and went to Secretariat. Thank God we dealt with them differently than the East is dealing with their own issue. We dealt with it decisively. If you are about break, I think every day we have the Nigerian anthem, we have the Yoruba anthem at the end of the sessions. If you are, that tells you already that we don't have the same vision. So if you are so passionate about this breaking everything, please don't say it here again. God bless you. I want the progress of Yorùbáland. I want it in Nigeria as it is right now. And would I ever want to have a separate space? Absolutely. But do I think that we cannot make any progress until we break out? Absolutely not. That is a very, very defeatist way of thinking. Everybody will be fine. Yorùbáland will do well. And lágbára Ọlọ́run, ńgbà tó bá ṣe kí yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀. But àti ní blue line, red line, the way people talk like nothing can work. Have you been to Ogun State? Even the Ogun State that poet was complaining about, which of course is valid. There's so many things that still have to be done. But I visited last year. Bad as it bad, things are still being done. Ogun State, Oyo State, Ondo State, all the states in Southwest, I visited last year. There's a lot more that can be done. But this idea that once you just get out, everything just become paradise. And Shomokekere. All right. I believe that people who speak like this also want the best for Yorùbáland. They're not saying it because they want to destroy the place. They want the best. But you see, while intentions are very important, you also have to understand the consequences, especially if you think everything through. Your intentions are great, but intentions don't rule the world. The world doesn't judge you based on intentions. So find fantastic intentions, but once it has negativity, perhaps this is not the platform for you. Thank you very much for understanding.